For more information on my programs, please visit masajady.com. That's MASSAJADY.com.
So, the journey to truth. And then part one is the big picture. What's it all about? Part two, deeper understanding and practical application. And then part three is just summary. Not exactly sure how much we're going to get through. I haven't really looked at the questions. In fact, I haven't looked at the questions at all. And the reason being is because, that's the way my abilities work, is like as soon as you look at the questions or somebody asks me something, right away the information comes. So if this is just unfiltered, I might be, obviously, as that information comes through, it's not of a linear fashion. So sometimes, it might be difficult to understand, but because the knowledge that comes in, and many of you actually, as I tap into the group, as a reminder, I'll be working on you as I talk, not just consciously so you understand the concepts, but then also frequency-wise at a deeper level so you can remember the concepts. Okay? You already have the knowledge. So you live from it. Anyway, backing up, my abilities, again, it's not linear. Space-time is not linear. It's more of a three-dimensional type process. It's more of a mind mapping, right? So it's much more efficient than, say, the normal learning that we have today in college or anything else that we learn. Again, more linear. It really slows down the process. So how I teach or how I lecture, I guess, is more of a mind mapping. So if you don't understand the concept before I move on to another thing, it's okay. If I don't complete, say, a thought or idea, leaves it open, it's okay. Okay? And that's how true learning, by the way, occurs, when you leave concepts, ideas, solutions open, so your brain starts to work on it at a deeper level or subconscious level. Most of us just want, they want to understand the concept, close that concept off, move to another concept, close that concept off. So what you're doing is you're closing that thought process off from expanding. You're just shutting off all nutrition to it. And that's why we don't really learn much from the knowledge that we access, knowledge that we read in books, knowledge of anything, teachers, even spiritual concepts, ideas from higher consciousness, because that's the process that we've ingrained our brain. That's why a lot of the younger individuals, as they come up into the world, they have a lot of issues with the schooling process, education, just because of what I was talking about. Again, not an efficient system. So if you get lost, it's no worries. Okay. So the journey to truth, and I'll just read the copy. In working with me, we initiate a process in which we realign with truth. For some, this process creates a fallout in our life. Circumstances that we shed that which is incongruent with our higher state of existence. There may be times when we experience complete loss, confusion, or feeling of desperation. For others, our journey is less arduous, but it still leads us through unexpected terrain. So join me in this finale of Exponential Intelligence Mastery series, where I talk about extensively about what it takes to live from a higher consciousness, understand what is happening when life feels disrupted, dismantled, and gain insight into what awaits on the other side, where truth and existence are aligned. So just as part of that, before we get into the questions that you guys have sent in, so a couple things. One, this is the final EI mastery, what we're going to do is we're going to still take your questions and so on, but we're just going to turn it into a podcast because it's really some really good information that can be shared out, to the broader. So we got some other similar services, just in a different format. Okay, so no worries there. And then the truth. We talk about truth all the time. So what exactly is truth? And there's truth in every aspect. So the way you live your life, it's a truth, although it might not be, say, the absolute truth. So our process, or what we've actually, say, in our DNA, we've actually been built to approach, or always strive to become more and more, say, pure, or hence truer, or to define or to go towards that one single truth. And there is only one single truth, by the way. It's just one single truth. The problem with that one single truth is everybody thinks that their truth is that one single truth, and it's not. It just isn't. So, just to give you an idea on how you can tell if your single truth is not the real or the ultimate truth, is that single truth should work in every possible situation that you can think of. There should be no ands, ifs, or buts. There should be no exceptions to the rule. Nothing. It's just one single truth. It works in all possible solutions, just like physics. Here are the laws of physics, even not a single truth, because as we get deeper and deeper, right, like this physical realm works on certain principles, right? Gravity, electromagnetism, whatever else that we have that rules this and dominates this world. You can't get away from that truth in this reality, right? If you want to, say, think, and this is where other people's truth happens, right? Think, you're on a ledge, 40, 50 feet up in the air, you're on a ledge, and you think you're just going to walk off that ledge, and then gravity, your truth is that, well, I'm going to walk off this ledge and I'll just keep walking. It doesn't work that way, right? That truth of gravity will knock you down, make you fall. So, and then some of you, well, I have a jetpack, or I have this and that, and I can just float. Well, we'll talk about that as well. So that's that single truth in this reality, right? Outside of the jetpack or anything else that we could do. And I use that example because I'll just explain it to you in a second. So what happens is that you go to a quantum level, and this is what really messed up Einstein in his later years, is that all the things, all the physics principles, theories, and so on that he brought into the world didn't work at a smaller quantum scale. There's another physics. So in that scenario, which is the truth, the physical world, or what happens in the quantum world? Because quantum particles act very differently than, say, your larger particles, or us. And then where I work at, or work on, or the level that we're at, we haven't even scratched the surface there. Right? And it's not just me, it's all of us actually originate from that one single truth. So we go deeper, and I call that the subquantum, say, layer, the subquantum physics principles that dictates all aspects of the quantum realm, and then also all aspects of this physical realm. So, for example, the quantum realm dictates what happens in this physical realm. Right? And again, the subquantum realm, right, dictates what happens in the quantum realm, or how particles, or how physics, or how we behave. And then back into, again, from the quantum back into the physics, the physical realm, or the larger aspect of life. So the single truth, although every layer is absolutely true in this scenario, the physics layer, right, that we abide by in this reality, right, is absolutely true for this layer. but it's not the absolute truth. Right? We go into the quantum layer, and then the principles that work on that level is absolutely true for that layer. But it's not the absolute truth. Then you go deeper in the subquantum field, and then that would be, say, the absolute truth.
For more information on my programs, please visit masajady.com. That's MASSAJADY.com.